Everyone is under stress now with the uncertainty over the coronavirus, and for caregivers, it's even more added stress and risk for their own health. Dave Nassaney is here, and he's also his wife's caregiver since 1996 from a stroke. He's author of It's My Life Too, and he joins us by Skype. Dave, it's good to see you again. So what has been the added pressure for you being a caregiver and then also under the shadow of the coronavirus?
Even if I need to take my wife to the ER for some reason, I don't want to have irrational fear worrying that she's going to get infection, at the ER, when actually the odds of getting an infection at the ER are much less than not taking care of a first aid situation if she falls or breaks a bone or something like that. A lot of caregivers from my Facebook page are complaining about not knowing when to stay home and when to go to the ER.
And so what about for yourself, though? Because it seems to me that it would be added pressure from your standpoint in caring for somebody, but then also to have to worry about the virus.
I always like to put my needs first, so I always take care of myself. Even though my gym has closed, I try to get out on my bike and exercise regularly to keep my immune system strong, because if my immune system will be strong, I won't catch something, bring it home to my wife. And there's always stress in the back of your mind saying, God, I hope I don't catch anything, and I hope I don't give it to her. The next thing is we want to ask for help. Don't try to do things by yourself, because caregivers, for some reason, don't like to ask for help. They don't want to be indebted to people. The other thing is, don't let people guilt you. People are always trying to say, gee, you can be doing this better, and gee, how come you're leaving her alone, and this and that. And don't let guilt affect you, because that drain on the immune system as well. The other thing is, don't isolate yourself from your friends. If you have a friend that you do things with, continue to do with them. Do the separation, the 6 feet distancing, like the CDC recommends. And then lastly, you want to eat healthy. Don't eat junk food. Junk food's got chemicals and sugar, processed ingredients. All that stuff will kill you and compromise your immune system. And you want to get the rest. It's so tempting to just stay up and work, or stay at work late and come home and then get up early. You need 8 hours rest every single night, and caregivers only get 2 or 3. I can't survive on 2 or 3. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, well, it is difficult, and it's difficult when you have to care for somebody else, and you kind of then, I think, probably put your own health at risk because that's on the back burner.
About 30% of caregivers will actually die before the loved ones do. Many more will become hospitalized and actually need a caregiver of their own. And if you're not a caregiver, just wait. You're either going to become one or you're going to need one. There's no escaping it. Everyone needs to learn how to become a caregiver before tragedy strikes. Don't be like me, because I was totally unprepared.
But so we feel as though we're kind of selfish then, though, if we are putting our needs first before the person that we're caring for.
Joe, we need to be selfish. It's selfish in many people's minds is a dirty word. I did a talk at TEDx called Caregivers Need to Be Selfish in Order to Survive. You've got to do it, because if you go down, who's going to take care of my wife? Who's going to take care of your loved one? So you've got to put your needs first.
And so how did you go about learning this? Was it through the pain of having made all the mistakes?
Absolutely. From the College of Hard Knocks, I made every mistake in the book that a caregiver can make. In my caregiverdave.com website, we have videos and tools and blogs and articles, all sorts of things to help caregivers learn what I learned, but not the hard way. You don't have to go through the same mistakes I did. I'm going to teach you.
And the important thing, too, is not to isolate yourself as well.
That is so important, because when you isolate yourself, you start feeling sorry for yourself, you start getting depressed, woe is me, etc. You need friends to lift you up. And if you have things to complain about, if you want to vent, don't vent to your friends, because they won't be coming by. They don't want to hear your criticisms. They don't want to hear you be on a downer. Nobody likes to be around Debbie Downer. Save those criticisms for your support group. And support groups are so important, because if I didn't have a support group, I wouldn't have learned that I had to take care of me before I could take care of my wife.
Well, everybody is saying right now we're all in this together, and that is so true, whether you're a caregiver or not. Dave, thanks so much for the time.
My pleasure.
And stay right there. We'll be right back.